Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Last week of March already in 2024. We're already close to 4 months in. I hope you guys' 2024 has been going well. Ours has been extremely busy but productive and very good. So I hope the same for you all. Today, we're going to talk about mindset, how to get your mindset right. And I was watching a video, the one we were just watching, and it was just talking about winning is a mindset. And it's funny because on my social media platforms from like 10 years ago, when I first set them up and you set up your bio, in my bio, it says success is a mindset. Because as I started getting into entrepreneurship years and years ago, back in '08, I knew back then that if I am to succeed, I have to first succeed in my brain, in my head, before I can succeed outwardly. So I knew back then, it was like 15 years ago or so, that success is a mindset, winning is a mindset. If you go into anything in life, you go into any sport, any competition, even it's a friendly game of like Monopoly, and you go into it thinking you're going to lose, guess what? You're probably going to play like you're going to lose. You're not going to play like you're going to win, right? Because your mindset isn't thinking about winning. Your mindset is already thinking about losing. You already have that self-doubt. So your brain and the rest of your body and the rest of the energy surrounding you is going to play in that way as if you are playing to lose and not playing to win. So winning is a mindset. I wrote a couple of these things down actually that helped me, to keep my mind right, to keep my mind on track. And one of those is winning is a mindset. Failure is progress. Lots of times when we fail, we think, oh man, dang, this wasn't for me. I can't do it. This is too hard. This isn't right. I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna give up. Right? But instead we have to retrain our brain. Failure is progress. I just move forward because I just learned something. Okay, this doesn't work, but I learned a good valuable lesson from it. Maybe I could try it this way now. It's progression forward. Failure actually doesn't set us back. Failure sets us forward. And it's just a switch in our brain that we have to make, that it's not a setback. It's just progression. We've learned something, we've moved forward, we know how not to do it now. And now we're going to reconfigure it and try it again. Try it in a different way. We've progressed forward, we've learned something. Perseverance is a superpower. Perseverance is a superpower. Because guess what? When failure comes, if you don't have perseverance, you are going to stop. You are going to let that failure take over. You will go backwards. So perseverance is something we have to build in ourselves. It doesn't just come naturally. Believe me, it doesn't come naturally. People are not just miraculously blessed with perseverance and that's how they became successful because they got lucky and they just have it. No, perseverance is something you have to build. And you can't really build perseverance without struggles and failures. It can't be built when everything is going right and going good and everything's fantastic and you never have any issues and bumps along the way. Then how will you ever practice perseverance? How will you ever get better at that? Perseverance takes a lot of setbacks and failures and bumps along the road and struggles and times where you have self-doubt, but you persevere. You keep going. You don't give up. Perseverance is a superpower and you just keep building it. It's a forever building process. Discipline is a muscle. Again, we aren't born with discipline, right? People don't just naturally have discipline. They got it from somewhere. It started somewhere. It started small and then it grew like your muscles. You're not born with muscles. You're born flimsy and flexible and weak and floppy, right? You're not born with all these muscles. You have to build your muscles, just like discipline. You're not born with discipline. When you want to eat, you cry, you want to eat. You need to be fed. You don't have the discipline to be like, okay, I could hold off a little bit. I could hold off, right? Discipline is something that is worked on and built over time, like a muscle. Okay, we are not born with it. Don't think, oh, someone else has discipline and I don't. They just are born with it. They naturally have it and I don't. No, they just had more opportunity and they've made the choices to work on that muscle. right? Consistency is a practice. Consistency is a practice. Again, people aren't just born into consistency. They aren't just born into, yeah, I'm consistent. It's a natural thing for me. I just happen to naturally stay consistent. No, it is a practice. It's something that that person has had to put into practice and really try hard to build that practice and do it over and over and over and over, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Consistency is an ongoing practice. And some people think consistency looks like this, like a straight line. Consistency can actually look like this, up and down, until it gets a little bit more up. And then sometimes you go down again, and sometimes you go back up again for a longer time. And then sometimes you might go down again. It's not just a straight line on the up and up. Again, it's a practice. It's something you can obtain and achieve over time if you practice it long enough, right? Fear can be a motivator or a brick wall. Fear can be your motivator or it can be your brick wall. We all have fear. All of us have fear. The word fearless is practically not real. If you actually have no fear, you'll probably be a pretty reckless person, right? You'll probably not, I mean, imagine not being scared of anything. You'd go be bungee jumping with no bungee cord. You'd be doing all kinds of stuff that's like, fear is actually designed to protect us. It's our brain's way of being like, oh, stop. I don't think this is good for us. This might cause harm to us in some way. Maybe we should rethink this, right? But fear can also hold you back if you allow it to. Yes, it's a natural thing. Absolutely. It's designed to help us and keep us safe, but it can grow into something that can become a brick wall for you and stop you right in your tracks and paralyze you to try something new or keep going or break out of your comfort zone or believe in yourself or believe that you can do this thing, right? So it could be a motivator. Man, I'm scared to do this, but forget it. I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to let fear control me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to fight it. Or it can be, shit, I don't want to be broke. I'm scared. I don't want to retire and be broke. I don't want my kids to have to take care of me. That's fear. And you can either use that as something that's going to motivate you to step out of that comfort zone and do what you have to do and start to create the discipline and the consistency and do the hard things and work on your perseverance and take those failures as learning lessons and keep pushing forward, or that fear can stop you in your tracks and paralyze you from being able to move forward and do what you need to do to not end up broke and not end up in a bad situation when you get older and you need it, right? So fear can be a motivator or it can be a brick wall. The choice is yours. After that, it becomes your choice. How are you going to use fear in your life, right? Setbacks are an opportunity for reflection and reconfiguration. Lots of times we will see a setback and we'll experience a setback and it'll bring us down. It'll bring us all the way down and all the way back. And for some people, it could take months to recuperate. And in those months, they could be wallowing in it and feeling in despair and, oh man, I don't know where to go from here, or this wasn't meant for me. This is the wrong business, or this is the wrong journey, or this is the wrong thing for me. And I don't think it's going to work and blah, 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 blah. Or it can be, you know what? Let me do some reflecting here. What have I learned from this setback? What is this setback trying to teach me right now? How can I use this setback to reconfigure what I need to do to move forward and make it work again? Right? Because in the setback, just like failure, there's learning lessons in there. If you just sit and reflect and pick out those learning lessons, guess what? You are now equipped to a better plan. You are equipped with those lessons. Those lessons are like tools that you picked up along the way to reconfigure a new plan that will work, right? So you could see setbacks as a setback and something that's going to stop you, or you could see it as a moment of reflection and a moment of learning and a moment of reconfiguration to try again, to move forward again. Progress leads to fulfillment in our life. Naturally, we are designed with progress in mind. When we feel complacent, when we feel like we are not moving forward in any areas of our life, in our relationships, in our friendships, in our business, in our money, in our self-growth, right? We start to feel unhappy. Unhappy. Something's wrong. What's going on? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I'm not moving forward? Why is life so dull? It's because you're not feeling like you're progressing. You're not pushing yourself. You're not growing in those areas. So therefore, you don't feel happy or fulfilled. Fulfillment is just another word for happiness. Sometimes happy is like, it can be pretty vague. It can mean a lot of things. Sometimes people are happy because gas prices are low. That makes them happy. They ate something good today. That made them happy. Or it can be happiness like, I feel truly fulfilled in life. I feel like I am moving forward. I feel like, man, I am growing. I'm becoming something, right? There's lots of definitions for happiness. It can go very deep or it can get very shallow, right? But progression is happiness. And what's funny is failure is progression. So you can even be happy in your failures because you could just switch your mindset about it and say, man, had I not had this opportunity to fail in this way, I would not have been able to learn, right? Have you guys had opportunities in your life where something not good happened and it sucked? And it was like, oh, that was, man, what a big failure. I really messed up. But then if that had not happened, you would have never learned that valuable lesson. You would have been completely blind, never have even thought about that lesson, never have even thought about what you got from that failure, because that failure was meant for you to gain that lesson. Sometimes God will put us through all kinds of things. A lot of times I say, man, God has a serious sense of humor in my life. He's always had a very funny sense of humor for me. Because in my major failures or in major struggles in my life, I have learned probably the most valuable lessons. And I have probably grown the most in the failures and the setbacks and the problems and the struggles than I would have ever grown had I not had those struggles. Isn't that funny? It's kind of like almost like an oxymoron. Like you wouldn't think that you would find more fulfillment, progress, right, in your failures than you would in your successes. Isn't that funny? But a lot of times that's exactly how it is. Sometimes the lessons are more valuable when they come from the hard places and the harder experiences than when they come from the easier, happier, more successful experiences, right? And I wouldn't switch it. I wouldn't switch it. Absolutely not. Because again, without those opportunities of experience, we would not be able to grow to the next level, right? You as a person cannot grow if you are not challenged. If you are not being challenged, you are not growing. It's like a sport. If you go and do the same thing every day and you've mastered it and you've gotten great at it, you'll never grow from there. You'll stay right at that spot. If it doesn't get any harder, you're not going to get any better. And that is life. If life doesn't get harder, you're not going to get better. You're not going to do much growing after that, right? And then at that point, you have to start looking for growth, looking for things to read and this and that. But then you could do all the reading you want, but if you don't experience it, it's in the end, it's just, you just read it. You didn't experience it. You didn't actually grow from it. Your brain might have grown from it. You might have read something new that helped you, but there's nothing like an actual experience that have taught you something that has grown you to the next level of yourself. Just like in business, when we don't have failures in business and our business doesn't struggle, our business will stay complacent. Our business will stay the same. We can't get to the next level of business. If business doesn't get harder, it gets complacent. Your business will never scale, right? So we have to take our failures and struggles and challenges in life, not as like, God, why? Why is this happening? But as, man, opportunity to practice my perseverance, opportunity to practice my discipline, opportunity to practice my consistency, opportunity to make a choice about fear, opportunity to change my mindset about winning and what success really means, right? Opportunity to see a setback as a time of reflection and reconfiguration. It's all about how we view it. Our mindset is the most powerful thing we have. Your mind is your number one tool. The number one. It's like the tool bag. And then all these other things like perseverance, discipline, consistency, our choices around fear, our self-talk. You know, I'm big on self-talk. All of those are tools in your bag. They're tools in your brain that your brain can utilize. But guess what? If you don't have any of those things and you're not practicing any of those things, your tool bag's empty. If you don't have failures to practice perseverance and discipline and consistency and bouncing back quicker rather than later, your brain is empty. Your toolbox is empty, right? So all those opportunities to gain all of these great tools and skills, opportunities, they're good. They're good for us. They're good for us. Sometimes I look for challenges in life because I know I need to get to the next level. In our relationship, I think a lot about Chris and I's relationship and our marriage. How can I get our marriage to the next level? We feel complacent right now. What can I do to get to the next level? Maybe we should go join a class together. Maybe we need to go get challenged to be able to have harder conversations with each other. We need to go deeper. We need to maybe go on that thin ice that we've been afraid to go on for a long time, so we avoid it. But maybe that's exactly what we need to do to then bring our relationship to the next level, right? In life, sometimes you're avoiding all these hard conversations because you're afraid of like the outcome and it's too scary and it's too uncomfortable and I don't want to have it and this and that, and then you avoid it. Guess what? You'll never learn. You'll never grow. You'll continue not to be able to have those hard conversations with people. You'll continue to succumb to the fear of this is too uncomfortable. This is too hard. I don't like it. Instead of, you know what? This is a challenge and I'm up for it. And it's going to be hard. But you know what? If I do it, if I get uncomfortable and I try it, even if I fail at it and it turns out to be a horrible conversation, at least I did it. And then you learn from that horrible conversation what you would do better next time, right? Can you learn if you never had the conversation? No, there's no learning there. There is no opportunity for learning how to have a better conversation next time, right? So when we do the hard things, when we challenge ourselves, we have so much more opportunity to grow and to learn than if we did not challenge ourselves and did not go through struggle and pain, right? It's kind of like math. Like that's how it works out. That's the formula, you know? And if you're not willing to do it, guess what? You're going to stay at zero, right? 0 plus 0 equals 0, right? 1 plus 1 equals 2. You tried this thing, it went well, you gained 2, right? 1 minus 1 equals 0. That's when it doesn't work. That's actually when it doesn't look like math. You tried it, it didn't go well, you're at 0. But in life, you tried it, it didn't go well, you gained. You gained. You gained experience, you gained lessons, you gained just allowing yourself to be challenged and doing the hard thing. That alone is a gain. That alone, if you want to be blind to the lesson, fine. But at least you could tell yourself, you know what? I gained because I at least fought my fear and I did it. Even though it sucked and it turned out bad, you know what? There's a silver lining there and I at least tried it. So in the end, it's still a gain, right? Kind of like how negative numbers work. Maybe that would have been better in a negative formula, but I'm not good at math, so we'll just move on. But the point is, if you are not pushing yourself and you are not welcoming the challenges of life, you are practically saying no to growing. You are practicing saying no, I'm just too uncomfortable. I can't do it, and therefore I'm going to stay where I'm at. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to stay where you're at. Your business will stay where it's at. If you're afraid to take your business to the next level by challenging it and growing and being uncomfortable all over again, it won't get to the next level. Okay? And that's very much how life is. In your relationships, if you're with your friends, your coworkers, your bosses, your mentors, your family, if you're not challenging one another and you're not comfortable enough to say, hey, you know what, I didn't feel comfortable with this, or, this kind of rubbed me the wrong way, or, can we talk about this? That friendship will never get to the next level. That family relationship will never get to the next level. You guys will stay where you are. And in the end, you won't feel fulfilled. You will always wonder if that relationship could have gotten deeper and better and stronger. And you will never be able to have those harder conversations that in the end makes the friendship so much more valuable, so much more fulfilling. Man, when I have my friends and I can talk to them about something that happened, that they did, that made me feel uncomfortable, that I didn't like, and I can actually voice that to them and talk about it, and we can go back and forth, and we can even get uncomfortable and a little bit annoyed at each other. But then when we can still reconcile, our relationship just went boom. And we both are like, wow, what a great friendship we have, that we can actually go through this and still be good and still, and that means you're not just still good, you're better. You were better for it. But it takes that muscle. It takes that uncomfortability. It takes that fear choice. Am I going to let this stop me, or am I going to use this as a motivator? Right? So in life, these are all our choices. The main choice is winning is a mindset. Winning is in your head. And winning takes all of these things in practice that I've named. Failure is progress. Perseverance is a superpower. Discipline is a muscle. Consistency is a practice. Fear can be a motivator or a brick wall. Setbacks are an opportunity for reflection and reconfiguration. Progress equals fulfillment. And I love that progress leads to fulfillment and failure equals progress. How funny. I love that. When I was writing those down, I was just like, huh, how funny is that? Which leads back to, man, if we don't have failure and struggle and challenges, we will never feel fulfilled in life, because we will become so complacent that life will be so boring. It's funny how that is. You would not think that we should embrace our failure and embrace challenge and embrace struggles. But that is, in fact, what makes us a stronger, more well-rounded, progressive human being that grows. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing to me. When I really look back and I think about the psychology and the science behind it, it's amazing. It's inexplainable. But that's how I want you to empower yourself. It really is just a way to empower yourself and how you look at things, how you look at the hard in life, how you view it and feed it to yourself is how you are going to attack it in life. So it is either going to attack you or you are going to attack it. It's going to be one or the other. You are going to be in constant reaction mode, or you're going to be in constant proaction mode. It's going to be one or the other. You're going to either look at in a positive light to give yourself inspiration and motivation to attack it, or you're going to look at it in a very negative light that will make you feel helpless and unable. But the choice starts up here in our brain. It's really just up there, that choice. And that choice happens through our self-talk. How are you talking to yourself about these things in life, these struggles, these challenges? Why me? Why me? Why is this happening? Oh, I can't handle it. Or what is this teaching me? What can I gain from this struggle? This too shall pass. That's probably my favorite line in life. This too shall pass. And in the meantime, what am I learning from this? Right? That is so empowering. It can make you or break you. That's how empowering it is. It can make you or break you. So the choice is yours. All right, I'll leave you guys with that. It's 10:04. Let's attack the day, attack the week, attack the month. And don't get down on yourself when you're not consistent sometimes. It's normal. It's just an opportunity to practice some more. Don't get down on yourself when you're not as disciplined as you'd like, or the person next to you. Even if the person next to you is your husband. Believe me, Chris is way more disciplined than me, way more consistent than me. My God, his mindset is way stronger than mine. Do I see that as like oh, I'm so weak, oh, my husband's better? No, I see that as an opportunity for me to continue growing, continue challenging myself, continue learning from him and how he challenges himself, right? Look at the other people around you. If you're busy comparing in the right way. Don't compare like, oh, they're so better than me and I can't. No, compare like, wow, they could do it, I can do it, right? Opportunity. So that's what I will leave you with. I want you to have a great week. Self-talk, talk to yourself nicely. Be your own cheerleader. Love on yourself. And that will get you so much further than anything else in life. All right? Everybody have a wonderful week. Take care. If you guys need anything, please give us a shout. We're always here for you.